Have you ever paused to consider if the relationships in your life have a purpose? And if so, what is that purpose? These are thoughts that require some introspection. Consider this. Our lives are composed of a complex network of relationships, each one unique, with its own set of dynamics. So let's dive into this idea of purposeful relationships. These are relationships that are intentionally fostered, aimed at mutual growth and support. They bring value to our lives, challenge and inspire us. Years ago, I found myself surrounded by individuals who seemed to be the ideal friends. They were popular, successful, and seemed to always be in the midst of everything. As time passed, however, I realized that these relationships were not adding value to my life, but proving detrimental. They were pulling me away from my goals. It was a tough call, but I made the decision to distance myself from these people. I chose to focus on building purposeful relationships with people who shared my values and supported my ambitions. This turned out to be one of the best decisions I've ever made. Now, I'm not suggesting that you distance yourself from everyone who doesn't perfectly align with your purpose. Relationships are multifaceted, and disagreements and friction are natural. What's important is to consider if a relationship is generally positive or negative. Is it helping you grow, or is it holding you back? Is it enhancing your life or draining your energy? Take a moment today to ask yourself, are the relationships in my life adding value, or are they just occupying space? Answering might be tough, but it's crucial, because at the end of the day, the quality of our relationships profoundly impact the quality of our life. So, let's dig in. Life should not be a series of random, meaningless playdates, but rather a journey of purposeful dating. So for this conversation, let's define playdating as a date and time set aside, whether scheduled or unscheduled, that amounts to nothing once it comes to an end. In layman terms, a waste of time. Now back to the subject. Imagine for a moment that you're in a garden. You are the gardener, and the people you let into your life are the seeds you plant. Now, if you plant seeds without thought, without intention, you may end up with a garden full of weeds. This is what we call playdating. It's like a garden full of random plants. Some of them might be beautiful, some of them might be weeds. There's no order, no purpose, no intention. Now let's look at a different approach. Consider purpose dating. This is where you, the gardener, carefully select the seeds you want to plant. You choose seeds that will grow into plants that are beneficial to your garden. You choose seeds that align with the vision you have for your garden. You are intentional with your choices. You are purposeful. Okay, so let me share a personal story. Quite some time ago, I found myself surrounded by individuals who, though admired and seemingly successful, were draining my energy. They were the weeds in my garden, the result of play dating and settling for what I thought I needed. I realized that in order to grow, I had to be more intentional about who I let into my life. I had to start purpose dating and/or giving and sharing my time with people who were intentional about progressing in life. I needed to veer from people who wanted to remain stagnant. I started to choose people who inspired me, who pushed me to be better, who added value to my life. I chose people who aligned with my purpose, my vision for my life. And the difference was remarkable. My garden started to flourish. The weeds were replaced with beautiful, beneficial plants. My energy levels increased, my productivity soared, and I was happier. The takeaway here is to be intentional in choosing the type of energy and people around you. Don't just go for the shiny, popular seeds, things, or people. Choose those that will add value to your garden, that will help you grow and flourish. Remember, just because something looks good or is favored, doesn't mean it's good for you. And just to be clear, these dates that we are talking about do not have to be romantic ones or with one specific person. These dates can refer to the time you allot to people or even things while attempting to live with purpose. These dates that you choose can be the team you hire for your business, your friends when you are hurting or when you are not. They can be what you make time for and what you do not give time to. Hence, be mindful of the company that you keep, because it will play a pivotal part in whether you are pausing or moving forward. Life is not about playdates. It's about purpose dating. It's about being intentional, being steadfast, choosing wisely. Your garden, your life depends on it. Trust is essential, but so is verification. It's a simple phrase, yet so profound, and carries a weight of wisdom that can't be understated. I got another personal story for you. Picture this. I once had a friend who was fun to be around, well known, and seemingly trustworthy. We shared laughs, dreams, and ambitions. But as time went on, I started noticing discrepancies in his stories and actions. I chose to ignore them, blinded by the charm and the popularity. This friend, however, was not who he appeared to be. The trust I had placed in him was misplaced, and my blind belief led to a metaphorical lemon in my life, souring my experiences and leaving a bitter aftertaste. The lesson here is clear: verification is crucial. It's not about doubting every person or questioning every action. It's about ensuring that the trust we place in others is deserved and not just given away freely. Trust is a precious commodity, and we should treat it as such. In our lives, we often get caught up in the perspectives and perceptions of others. Will others like this? If they will like it, then I must have it. We take things at face value, forgetting to dig deeper. We get swept away by appearances, by things that look good or are popular. But here's the hard truth. Just because something or someone looks good, it doesn't mean they are good for you. And that's where verification comes in. Verification is about doing your own research, forming your own opinions, and not letting others dictate your beliefs. It's about being intentional in choosing the type of energy and people around you. It's about aligning your relationships with your purpose. And let's remember, it's so easy to get distracted. The world is full of shiny things vying for our attention. But we must manage our lives with focus, precision, and do those things on purpose. I repeat, we must be intentional with our decisions and actions. So as we navigate the complexities of relationships and life, let's remember to trust, but also verify. Because trust without verification can lead to a basket full of bad lemons, and no one wants that, right? As I stated earlier, it's easy to get distracted, but we must stay focused, living with purpose and on purpose. Let's go further. Have you ever wondered why it's so important to live on purpose and with purpose? Intentionality is like the compass that guides our decisions. It keeps us on the path toward our goals, preventing us from veering off into the wilderness of distractions. When we live with purpose, we are deliberate about what we allow into our lives, from the relationships we nurture to the tasks we undertake. Why should we be intentional about living on purpose and with purpose? For starters, it helps us avoid the pitfalls of aimlessness. Without a defined purpose, we are like ships adrift at sea, tossed about by the waves of circumstance. But with purpose, we can chart a course and navigate through life's storms with confidence and resolve. Secondly, living with purpose allows us to align our actions with our values. This alignment brings a sense of fulfillment and satisfaction that is hard to match. It's like finding the perfect fitting shoe after trying on dozens of mismatched pairs. Lastly, living with purpose equips us to make a positive impact on the world around us. When we are intentional about our actions, we can channel our energy and resources towards causes that matter to us, making a difference in the lives of others. Earlier, I talked about a time when I was caught up in the whirlwind of popularity. I was surrounded by people and activities that looked good and were popular, but they didn't add substance to my life. They were like the shiny objects that distract a magpie, pulling me away from my purpose. It was only when I decided to live intentionally, to focus on my purpose, that I was able to let go of these distractions and make meaningful progress. I said all that to say that your purpose may not be with your normal crowd, but it's yours. Own it. It might mean letting go of some things or people, and it might hurt. But in the end, you'll realize that the pain of letting go is far less than the pain of holding on to what doesn't preserve or serve your purpose. Remember, life is not a popularity contest. It's a journey towards fulfilling your purpose, and that journey is best undertaken with intentionality and a purpose-driven mindset. On this journey of purpose, you may not be able to take everyone or everything with you. That's not to say that you should abandon all you hold dear. No, it's a call to be discerning, to recognize that not all that glitters is real gold, and not all who walk with us are meant to reach our destination with us. Imagine a ship setting sail. It's a magnificent vessel, built for a grand voyage, but as it embarks, it carries too much weight, unnecessary cargo, if you will. What happens? It moves slower, it struggles, it may even sink. The same applies to our lives. We're all ships destined for great journeys. But if we're weighed down by unnecessary cargo, be it people who drain our energy or habits that hinder our growth, we risk never reaching our destination. I'll share one final personal story with you. There was a time when I held onto a friendship that was more of a burden than a boon. We had shared laughter, tears, and countless memories. But as time unfolded, I realized that this friend was anchoring me to my past, preventing me from moving towards my future. It was a tough decision, letting go. It felt like severing a part of myself, but I knew it was necessary for my journey, and so I did. I let go, and yes, it hurt. For a while, it felt like I had lost a part of myself. But as time passed, I realized that the space left by their absence was filled with new opportunities, new relationships, and a new sense of purpose. It was a pain that led to progress. You see, purposeful living often involves making tough decisions. It requires us to examine our lives, to prune the branches that bear no fruit, to let go of the weights that slow our journey. It's not always easy, and it's rarely comfortable, but it's necessary. It might hurt to lose some things or people for the sake of progress, but in the end, you'll be glad you did. So I ask you this: what are you willing to sacrifice to live this life with purpose?